to our winter healing circle. Today we are on week 4. So now in 2025, we're in January 20th. This week, I would like to talk to you about not being rushed and savoring this quality of winter that is asking us to slow down and come inwards, connect deep inside within, and really take your time. If we just observe nature, as I'm always suggesting you to do, we realize that, there are buds that are already on the trees. There are new sprouts that are ready. They look ready on the trees and the plants outside, even through this really cold winter time. But they're not in a hurry to rush to bloom just because they're there. This is the time to just really take in the nutrients, the nourishments, and sometimes we need to learn to accept that it's okay to slow down, to not rush into things just because of the external circumstances and the pressures outside. I know that in today's world, in our fast-paced society, it feels like, we're starting a new year. We talked about planting new intentions, everybody's making new goals. It's go, go, go time. But actually, we need to respect the rhythm of nature within ourselves as well. That sometimes, if I'm not really ready for something, it's okay to take the time and just not rush because of how everybody else is rushing. And this really do take practice and this tuning in to that inner stillness, to that inner voice that's guiding us always. There is great intelligence in nature and within you that you are a part of, so tap into that. When we say observing your own pace and not following what everybody else is doing, it takes, first of all, awareness of, am I just doing what everybody else is doing? And two, you also take a lot of trust in yourself and in the universe that things fall into place at their own rhythm. And that even by you trying harder and fighting and struggling, and that doesn't necessarily make things faster. Sometimes it's just we're kind of going around in a more complicated route, when if we just slow down, actually there's a shortcut that is presented to you. So I really encourage you to just have this awareness first, to notice what is that mainstream energy that's just rushing past, and you need to observe whether you are being carried away with this mainstream of what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is thinking, choosing to believe. But are those really yours? Or are you just adapting them into part of your consciousness? Sometimes we just kind of take them on as our own belief, as our own conditioning. And it takes great awareness and stillness to observe that actually I don't want to choose to believe that. I don't want to subscribe into this channel, so I unsubscribe that. So you have to clean and keep your inbox clean, right? And say, I keep receiving these emails and things that are not really relevant to me. So clean them up. So I encourage you to use this energy of winter time where you go within and just connect. And this is something that we can do throughout the year. It's just that once a while we need to check in with ourselves. Am I just rushing for the sake of keeping busy? Or am I really doing things that are aligned with my inner being? Is that the way I want to go? Is that the direction that I really want to go? And do I really have to go through these steps that I think how everybody else logically explains to me will get me there? But perhaps your path is different. Perhaps that's not so logical for you. So we have to be always so discerning in understanding what's really in alignment with my inner self. Instead of just thinking, adopting these beliefs that, okay, in order for me to achieve that, I have to do this and then this and this and that. Well, there's not really a rule for anything on how you get there. Sometimes you just need to be way open, and then you discover these shortcuts, these bonus bypass that you didn't know that they were there, because if you were just so focused and say, I need to do this, I need to get there by this time and like this, then you miss out on other opportunities and openings that the universe will present to you. So I encourage you to just take this in and journal if you like, and just spend some time in nature by yourself, just absorbing this energy of what does it mean to be moving at my own pace, to allow myself to slow way down into this still point where I feel completely stable and grounded. And from there, you can ask yourself there then, what's the outlined actions that I should take? Am I taking actions that are going towards the grander vision of my higher self? So these are deep introspection that we can do throughout the year, especially when you feel like you've just been rushing and rushing, you're running out of time. Those are the perfect moment to just slow down. There's a saying that if you don't have time, meditate. If you are really feeling so squeezed that you don't even have time to meditate, well, the more you need to meditate, because you need to just come back to yourself and ask, what am I rushing for? Why am I feeling all this pressure to just push and rush? Because at the core of our being is ease, is joy, is freedom. So if you're disconnected with all of that, then we need to come back and ground ourselves and find a way through to reconnect with all of that. So today we are going to do a new Kriya that's called Kriya to know that you know. So we're tuning really into that very subtle layers of ourselves, building that trust that we've been talking about, to know that you will have the answers within, and you just need to calibrate. It's like tuning radio station, and then you have to fine tune that calibration to tune into that layers of you that know that you know. If you just listen deeply within and just tune in. Now the exercise that I'd like to propose to you for this week is just spend some time to really tune in. Just notice the small shifts in yourself. Small shifts like, am I thinking in a different way? Can I perceive something? And how has my mindset shifted? Or how do I really feel when I'm reacting, when I am responding? Just tune to that very subtle inner knowing, which is not something that you could see or you could really feel in terms of the senses. It's something even more subtle. So Just give yourself the time to practice and just try it out. You might discover